Hello everyone, this is Mitali Paltiwale from Trainers Club. I'll be your master trainer for GRE and we are going to cover most of the topics of GRE. But before that, what exactly is GRE? GRE means Graduate Record Examination. Why do we do GRE? At times, many of your students have thought that we have to go for further studies and we don't want to study in India. So, for that purpose, they go for further educations, and before that, for further educations in abroad. But before that, they have to go through GRE. As in, GRE is just similar to, like, what we can say, the entrance exams for anything. Okay, every single thing, whenever you're going for even into some company to get a job, then also you have to go through an entrance exam. Similarly, here also, if you want to study in abroad, you have to go through GREs. Now, GRE is something which is having two different test formats, which is having a general test at first, and another test would be subject test, wherein in general test they will be testing your ability on your verbal reasoning skills, quantitative reasoning skills, and analytical writing skills. Now, what is verbal reasoning and quantitative reasoning? Verbal reasoning is related with your English and more of your grammatical part and reading comprehension type things. But wherein in quantitative reasoning, it would be covering most of your mathematics part. In mathematics part, they'll be having questions about speed, time, and distance, ratio and proportion, profit and loss, at times probability, percentage, number, anything could be there. So it's just related with the mathematics which you have studied so far. And analytical writing skills. How good are you in writing? So it would be there to test your writing skills as well. So analytical writing skills will have always about writing things. Okay, so in GRE subject, the another part of GRE is nothing but the subject test, and the subject test would be for the specific courses which you are looking forward to go for. So, a GRE subject test would be testing your expertise in the field of engineering, science, or in any place. If you're looking forward to go for MS, then they'll be obviously looking for your skills or your expertise in the subject. Okay, whichever you feel like going for. So yeah, these many things are there. Here we will be covering GRE General Test. We won't be able to cover GRE Subject Test as it differs from sub student to student. So right, right, because key it is differing from person to person, we are not able to cover each and every subject. So that we are going to cover GRE General Test. In GRE General Test, when I've told you that analytical writing assessment would be there, quantitative reasoning, and verbal reasoning. So let's look forward what exactly analytical writing assessment means, quantitative reasoning means, and verbal reasoning means. Okay, analytical writing skills will have analyzing an issue, wherein you have to analyze an issue and you have to write things about it, whatever you have analyzed in your own words. But how to write it will be telling you. Analyzing an argument would be there, and again, you have to analyze it and you have to point your views out, whatever you are feeling or whatever you think about it, and you have to just go through it. Like you have to write it down. In verbal reasoning, as I was telling you that it is related with general like English grammar and more of what you have studied till now. So it will be always having noun, pronouns, adjectives. verbs and tenses, idioms and idiomatic expressions, pronoun agreement, subject verb agreement, modifiers, and parallelism. Then in quantitative reasoning part, which is having more of the topics, and it's quite vast when it comes to like the way they name the questions out, because you cannot tell ki that this question or this topic will have more questions, but in case at times the questions may come up of all the combination of all the topics, and difficulty level obviously will vary always from question to question, or maybe you can even say that these questions these kind of topics would be having medium to higher level difficulty questions, or maybe complexity will obviously be more than whatever we are solving right now. At times these may happen, or maybe because I mean we cannot sit, by just sitting here we cannot just justify what would be there. So what I was thinking is, rather than covering a single topic, or like rather than covering questions only, we'll be covering topics, so that it will be easier for you people also to go for any kind of competitive exams, not only GRE. So, what we are going to do, that we are going to cover a specific topic, not the combination of all the questions, so that it will make you enough able to go for any kind of competitive exams. So, what all topics are there? So, here are the topics: ratio and proportion, profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest, speed, time, and distance, permutation and combinations, linear equations, quadratic equations, powers and roots, probability, pipes, cisterns, work and time. Work and time is basically the topic wherein pipes and cistern is just an application of work and time. Okay, lines and angles, triangles, sets theory, statistics, percentage, number properties, polygon, quadrilateral, coordinate geometry, order of operations, volume, and surface area. Now, here in this case, we will be covering polygon, quadrilateral, and circle, and volume and surface area in combination of everything. Like we'll be direct to go for mensuration rather than going for specific shapes. So we what we'll be doing, so we will be going for mensuration directly, not through like obviously we'll be covering it in polygons, we'll be covering there, we'll be covering quadrilateral, circle, even triangles also. So we'll be doing this thing, that rather than going to specific rather than just learning about polygons or something, we'll just go for the topic called mensuration. Mensuration is always having it's the combination of triangle, square, 2D or 3D shapes, so that is there. Now, just not what I should say, ki just by knowing the topic, how would you be able to cover, how would you be able to clear the test, what all things you need to keep in mind while clearing the test, or maybe while going for the test. So here are the test pattern for computer delivered test, and also for the offline purposes. Okay, so look at this. In computer delivered test, there'll be three sections, of course, and there'll be two more sections, which is unscored and research. So just may there will be no marks, or research will be having different set of questions. But here in analytical reasoning, there will be one section and two different tasks, for which you'll get 60 minutes to solve. Now, two tasks means what? There will be, there are two different set of questions or set of papers would be there, set of exams would be there, you have to solve, and you'll get 60 minutes to solve it. And in verbal reasoning as well, two different sections. There will be 40 questions, and in those 40 questions, you'll get 60 minutes to solve those 40 questions. In quantitative reasoning, two sections, okay, and 40 questions would be there, and you'll get here 70 minutes to solve. Now, these two tasks for analytical writing would be analyzing argument and analyzing an issue. So both will be there. So those are two different tasks, and for that you'll get 60 minutes. Okay. In verbal reasoning, the questions which are based on English grammar and baki sab, so you'll get 60 minutes to solve them. And for quantitative reasoning, you'll get 10 minutes extra, so you'll get 70 minutes over here. And the section which is unscored or like depends on research, the number of sections and duration may vary from time to time. So we cannot say what will be there. Okay. Uh, what about GRE test pattern for paper deliver test as an offline tests? So analytical reasoning, there will be two sections and two different tasks. I mean, one task will be having one section and two second task will be having second section. You'll get again another 60 minutes over here. Verbal reasoning, two sections. Here there will be 50 questions instead of 40. And the time duration would be 70 minutes. 70 minutes, 50 questions, we have to manage loads of time. Because that, as in I was telling you that the questions will be about medium to higher level difficulty questions. So then we have to keep this thing in mind that we have very limited time and we have to buckle up and start with the ones which we are aware of, more of awareness. Okay. Now, quantitative reasoning. Two different sections, 50 questions, and we'll get 80 minutes to solve. Here, there will be no unscored or research section so that any is there. That is not available. These kind of sections are not there when it comes to paper delivered test. Okay, now there are, I mean, now as in I have just told you that uh, these kind of tests would be there. That one is computer delivered, that is online, and another one is paper delivered, which wherein it comes when it comes to writing something, you have to keep this thing in mind that you have to get on with the good speed of typing, because then in computer you have to write it down, and how do you be writing that? So you have to type everything out that way. Okay, now let's, I mean, you guys might have some questions also when in case I'm telling you about the exams. So here are some FAQs which I'm going to solve. uh, how many times can you appear for GRE test? Okay, so see, any candidate can appear for GRE General Test once in approximately 21 days and up to five times within the continuous rolling. I mean, like 12 months period may they can apply for five times and in every 21 days. Okay, what is a good score for GRE? Okay, so first thing, that there is no such thing as a good score. Every university will have different scores and different cutoffs, and now it depends on you wherein you need to reach, to what university you need to go. So it depends on how much score you achieve, and whether you're passing the cutoff or whether you're not crossing the cutoff. It's just about clearing the cutoff score of any university. So if you are clearing and you're bit more than it, good for you. And if you cannot, then you have to apply it for like apply for some other university, or like for another test, of course, because to get a good score. Okay. Now, see, our target would always be preaching to higher GRE scores, so that we can achieve any seat, or I mean in the university. Okay, so that would be our goal. Okay, so see, at times being the one who is good in studies and everything is good, I mean of course it is good, but at times you have to be ready to get scholarship also. So for that reason you have to be very sure that your GRE score would be, I mean, would be higher than the cutoff. Yeah. Okay. Now, what is the GRE fees in India? In India, you have to pay approximately $215 to register for the GRE test. Approximately $215. That is, if we'll be calculating 215 multiplied by 80. So it would be, sorry, approximately 15 to 17,000 rupees. Okay. Approximately 15 to 17,000 rupees for one test of GRE. Okay. And one more thing, at times, if one is registering late or rescheduling, then also, what exactly will be the fees? Then it will get added to that $215 के साथ. So it will obviously get added, like because additional cost of registration, late registration, or rescheduling will come. So we have to keep this thing in mind. Okay. And how is now GRE scored? Now, everything we have done with this. Ki how many times can you appear? What is a good score? What is the test fees? Now, let's go to this question as well. Ki marking system. How is it the marking? How is the marking system? Okay. See, the analytical section. Uh, I mean, is marked between 0 to 6 half points. I mean, when it comes to marking, they are pointing it in half point increment. Whether you are like whether there is 1 point or whether there is a half point. So it would be always in between 0 to 6 half point increment, wherein the quantitative and verbal reasoning will have a 1 point ka increment. Every right answer will have 1 point increment. And here, uh, in analytical section, of course that will be varying continuously, it will keep varying, but then you have to keep this thing in mind that you have to be very sure with whatever you're writing. You have to be very good with your grammar, and even the sentence making things. So then only you'll be able to cover analytical writing section ka half point, like in a good manner. So yeah, and quantitative and verbal reasoning will have 130 to 170 points with 1 point increment. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing. I believe that is it for the time being. So now it's time to begin with GRE, and not only beginning with GRE, we are getting ready for any kind of competitive exam, no matter whether you're going for GRE or not. Okay, so you'll like by the end of all the sessions, you'll be able to go for any kind of competitive exams if you're feeling so. So yeah, let's begin then.